I think over the years, I have taught every single age group. And recently I've gone back to teaching rather younger children, and I've quite enjoyed it. And I was rather surprised. Well, I'm always amused that one of the children in my class refers to me constantly as Miss, and asks me to repeat things, Miss. And I just think, well, that happens, and I hadn't really thought about it at all. And then this morning I came across a most extraordinary story from a person called James Hanscombe, who's the Harris Westminster's executive principal. That's a big name, isn't it? Doesn't mean very much, I suspect. And he has decided, this is a London sixth form college of some sort. He's decided that pupils should no longer refer to teachers as sir or miss, and that this is a form of cultural misogyny. And sir would denote the Knights of the Round Table, Sir Lancelot or Sir Galahad, and miss is how you refer to a small girl or an Edwardian shop assistant. So I am amused that I've become a character from Kipps. He suggests instead that we should refer to people as teacher, which in the past I have been referred to as teacher, but never in the UK, I think. And I find it slightly shocking. He says that miss is a term that feeds into the view of the world that diminishes women. Men have get to be fearless leaders and alpha types, get credited for hustling, whilst behind the backs of women it's asked whether they deserve it, whether their career comes from good ideas or good looks, power moves or diversity lists. I don't understand all this language, I must say. Anyway, Hanscom said that a different culture was needed and a different stage of their evolution. So 49 of his students received Oxbridge offers last year, and that's fairly impressive. And then having made this suggestion, he says, "Well, don't think too much of it. Got too many other things to think about." But it's it is extraordinary. There's even a discussion in his school about whether miss or madam is to be preferred. Madam, he says, has a stroppy connotation, and ma'am sounds like you're royal or from the 1920s. He toyed with the idea of sensei, the Japanese term, which I rather like. He toyed with the idea of professor, which says is very Hogwarts, and other replacements. And he says that the students are very much on board. But my problem with addressing teachers by their name is, oh gosh, it's so hard, and for children to remember that, and it's such a mouthful. I must say I don't like being referred to as Mr. Wilson. I find that rather irritating. And certainly when I'm teaching one-to-one, I would generally assume that my students are going to call me Tim. But I am always charmed when they call me Sir. And there's a few students I have who are unbelievably polite, and it always hits home, and it's always appreciated. But frankly, these days, oi will attract my attention, and I'm just pleased to be needed.